Okay, welcome back. Ernest Jessup here, and I hope you've learned a little bit about creating the data shapes and data graphics. There's a lot more in-depth detail I could have gone into as far as naming shapes, and then this comes into play when you want the shapes to interact with each other. For instance, maybe you want a grand total of each department's fiscal year budget. You would have to create a shape that's going to be the sum data graphic. So we would have a shape. Let's say we have a headquarters. I'll drag one out, and maybe this headquarters shape is the one that's going to display the data graphic that totals different values from each one of these other data graphics. So in this video, I'm not going to go into that level of detail. Feel free to reach out to me if you'd like me to continue the series, and maybe I'll find some time to go ahead and do that. But just to give you an overview of what you would need to do, you would need to enable your developer tab. There are all kinds of ways that you can search on how to do that. More than likely, if you're watching this video, then it's enabled, and you would have to name your shapes. Once you name your shapes, then you could create a master data graphic that would call the different values from each one of these shapes. Okay, but for this video, we're just going to focus on exporting and then getting it to display correctly in SharePoint. So I'm hiding my window. You don't have to do this. I'm just cleaning up. Remember I said the last thing you should do is fit to window. I'm saving it, but that just saves it as a Visio 2016. In order to display in SharePoint 2010, it has to be saved as a web drawing, and you'll see the various types of formats that you can save it as. I just went to File, Save, and you'll see that Visio 2010 web drawing is an option. I'm going to keep it the exact same name, but before you hit Save, I want you to click on Options, ensure that the pages that you want exported are checked. Okay, I'm going to configure the refresh by clicking Configure Refresh. Here's my data source, and I'm configuring it. And refresh every 60 minutes. It depends on your SharePoint settings on how much load you have, but I like to set my refresh for my data to 60 minutes. Oh, the most important thing on this screen is that overwrite user changes to shape data is checked. This has to be checked if users are going to update data, or if you're going to update data on the SharePoint list. What this means is the data that you update will overwrite the current data that is being saved with the SharePoint, with the Visio dashboard. Okay, so got there. I'm going to configure and overwrite user changes to shape data. Very important, that's checked. Otherwise, the data that is currently saved with your drawing will always be displayed on the web. Okay, I'm hitting save. This is a compatibility checker. It tells you different things that may not show up in the Visio 2010 web drawing. That's fine. I continued, and my dashboard has been saved. Let's go to, okay, so here we are in SharePoint. This is our SharePoint list. I want to create a page that's actually going to show that dashboard. So I'm going to go to my site content. From here, I'm going to create a page. Create a web part page. Let's call it demo. Choose where you want your page saved. I tend to save mine in the Pages library. And here we are on our blank page. Okay. There was one step that we needed to do, and that was to also upload the dashboard to SharePoint. So I'm going to just create another window. View all site content. And I have a document library that I created for just Visio. You can, of course, save it wherever you like, but just to keep it organized, I put it in Visio. I'm going to add a document. went to the directory where the dashboard was saved, and you'll see the different types. So the Visio web drawing, that is the one that is compatible with SharePoint 2010. Okay, so here is the demo dashboard that's been newly added. And in the next video, we'll go to the blank page and create the web part that's necessary to show this dashboard.